In 1990, he made his first Grand Slam final at the French Open. The night before the biggest match of his life, he got in the shower and felt the hairpiece come apart in his hands. He called his brother in a panic, and they clamped it back together with 20 bobby pins. His brother looked at it and just said, yeah, I don't know, just don't move. The next morning, he warmed up and prayed, not for victory, but for his wig to stay on. He spent the entire match terrified that every lunge, every dive for a ball would send it tumbling onto the red clay in front of millions of people. He lost. Hey guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jake.
How's it going, Jake? How's your
it's all right.
Your seasonal affective disorder with another foot of snow? I don't want to be the guy that's how's the weather?
Here's the thing. It's not even the fact that we got a blizzard in March here. It's the fact that it has taken its toll because it got cold again, and
things are breaking.
Things are breaking.
Well, and we'll get into some things that are breaking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I won't get into it
Maybe
now.
we'll save it for Drivers Club. I've got something for you that I put together. This is for you.
Just for me.
It's just for you. And then afterwards, maybe do a little bit of news and some Drivers Club stuff. So stick around.
Okay.
Jacob. What's your middle name?
Daniel McDonald.
That's right, Daniel. Jacob Daniel McDonald. So, I have two middle names as well. Did you know that?
Do you? Christopher, let's see if I know it. I'm gonna recognize it. It's something.
Richard Carlson. Yeah, Richard Carlson.
I did not know Carlson at all.
Yeah, that was my mother's maiden name. Well, I didn't know it was actually this is a stupid conversation. People are gonna skip over this. I didn't know that it was my. I had to do turn your mic down just a little bit, Jake. I didn't know that I had another middle name till I had to go get a real ID. And then they're like, oh, well, actually on file with the state of Wisconsin is blah, 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 blah. So apparently when I
recently realized this?
Yeah, I didn't know this. So
it's
funny. My mother's maiden name in there. Anyway, Jacob, I put together an episode for you. And the reason I did this, and remember, you can just don't guess. Okay, don't guess anything.
I'm not going to ruin the fun.
Don't ruin the fun for the listeners, but afterward...
It's hydrazine.
It's not hydrazine. It's not Pervitin. By the way, we just released a very fun episode on Pervitin, which is a very interesting drug.
It's energetic. It's an energetic episode.
It's an energetic episode. Anyways, all right. The reason I brought this episode up, and don't start guessing things. Not even now.
I'm not. Okay. No.
Do you understand? Just being clear.
Volkswagen.
You have one of the most beautiful heads of hair of anyone I've met. And it's always up in the air, and it's always fun. It's very thick. It doesn't seem to ever go anywhere, fall out. Which made me think that you don't know what it's like, or you don't sympathize with the bald man. So I have put together
Here's the thing, though. I'm already interrupting. I'm not guessing anything, but I'm already interrupting.
Okay,
it's a trade-off because I don't grow good facial hair. Like I try the mustache thing. I'm probably just going to back out of the mustache thing completely. I'm going to like a little lighter with it because it's related, right? Like if you can grow a full bushy beard, you're more likely to lose your hair, is my understanding. Like there's a relation there. It's a trade-off. And
granted,
I think it probably
has
I'm on the side of that teeter-totter that I would like to be.
Yes, absolutely.
But
yes.
To give
you don't
you
have
some
a bad
ammunition.
chin. You don't have a bad chin. So if you had a horrible chin that was inset 2 inches and you couldn't grow a beard, that would be sad because you couldn't hide it.
Good because I have a terrible shaped head. I have my head is flat right here. Yeah, I'm not.
Yes.
It's not circle. I don't have a circle head.
All right. Yeah, I don't even know what my head looks like. All right. This is, Jacob, the top 10 bald men to ever exist. Are you ready? All right.
Okay, and I'm not going to guess them. I get it now.
This is for like 50% of the population who's bald or going bald. They will greatly enjoy this. It'll be a morale
That would
boost.
mean every man on Earth is bald? 50% of the population?
That would be half, Jake.
You said 50%. This is for 50% of the population.
Yes, that's half.
Comma,
50% is
who are
one half
bald.
of 100.
Yes, okay, but I'm saying half of the population is men, so not every single
Jacob,
man
stop
is
it.
bald. All right,
Well, of course.
Go. Just go. Just read your damn story, Chris.
This is an episode for everyone, but it's male oriented. Okay.
Got it.
Does that solve your mathematical demographic problem?
No, it doesn't.
Good Lord.
Continue.
In 1500 B. That would have been a good one. Mr. Clean is not on this list.
I was like, I hope I'm not actually like.
No, Mr. Clean's not on here. That would be good though. That would be good.
Okay.
In 1500 BC, I don't want to stop you from having fun, Jake. You have as much fun as you want with this. Interrupt me whenever you want. Just don't guess. No guessing.
Okay.
In 1500 BC, somewhere in Egypt, a man who was losing his hair stood in front of a priest, recited a prayer to the sun god, and then swallowed a mixture of onions, iron, red lead, honey, and crushed alabaster. It did not work.
Dear Ra sun god,
please.
I kind of don't want to be bald. Like, please. And then the priest dude is like, here, have some poison.
Rocks.
Have some poison. Yeah. Take the poison. You can't be bald if you're dead.
Well, unless you're already bald. But your hair does continue to grow after you die.
Yeah.
Did you know that your hair and fingernails grow? Did you know that?
Yes, I have heard that. Yeah.
It's true. This did not work, Jake. The iron and honey and crushed rocks alabaster did not work. Which probably the alabaster was to turn it into a paste, I imagine.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't you say lead?
So
I thought you said lead too. Yeah.
Yes, red lead. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lead. Yep. So a few generations, so they were bald and dumb.
Yeah, that's what hence the poison comment. Yeah. Okay.
So a few generations later, someone else tried rubbing the fat of a lion on his head, then a hippopotamus, then a crocodile.
They rubbed an entire hippopotamus on their head.
The fat
of
all these like virulent, all the hippo, lion, crocodile. It was the fat of all these virulent animals.
Yeah. These are manly things. We're gonna
they're manly things.
Part of it and rub it on our head.
Rub it on our bodies. None of this worked. They still do this kind of stuff in like Asian countries with like bones. Yeah, but
usually it's like
testicles.
Ground up testicles or something.
Yeah,
right?
like bull testicles. For the longest time, I thought Red Bull had actual bull nut juice in it. I always thought it had like.
No.
I know. God, it was a meme.
That
Someone will back me up in the comments.
That'd be a really good selling point, actually. Like they should.
You would drink it more if it had bull jizz in it?
No, but it'd be something where it's like it's got something.
Holy crap! We've only got
there's something there.
There's only one paragraph in, Jake. We gotta go.
Okay.
After 1,000 years, Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, the guy we literally named the doctor's oath after.
Yeah, he was a damn hypocrite, though, Chris. Quite the hypocrite.
He was. He smeared a paste of pigeon shit and horseradish on his own thinning scalp. It did not grow back. And then you've got King Louis XIV of France, who lost his hair to illness and responded by commissioning wigs that weighed 20 pounds and sometimes had cages with live birds inside them.
Why?
20-pound wigs with birds. Decoration. Why? Okay. Decoration. For 4,000 years, men have been going bald. More than half of all men will. And for 4,000 years, we have tried everything to stop it. Everything except the one remedy that has been clinically proven to work. You ready?
No, judging by that, I am certainly not.
Castration. Castration.
Oh!
It turns out this photo...
I thought that was a person tickling someone's underside with a feather. Turns out it was much more violent than what that was.
It's scissors. It turns out that the same testosterone that makes you a man is the thing that kills the hair. No testosterone, no baldness. The Victorians actually ran with this. Yes, go ahead.
Hold on. We watched Game of Thrones. Why was it the bald dude who was castrated was bald, and he was like the guy, that was, no
testosterone. No testosterone.
Right, so he's bald. It should be the other way around. He should have full head of hair.
Well, maybe it was later in life. It was later in life. Yeah, maybe. It turns out that the same testosterone that makes you a man is the thing that kills the hair. No testosterone, no baldness. The Victorians actually ran with this and decided that bald men must be more virile, more intellectually superior. This was nonsense, but it made them feel better. The truth is far less
Obviously.
flattering.
I am extremely smart, and I have lots of hair.
Your hair follicles either care about testosterone or they don't. It's just genetics.
Got it.
So then, Jake, this is a bit about the ones who didn't hide. The ones who shaved it, lost it, didn't care, or just let it go and became more because of it. This is the top 10 bald men to ever exist.
Okay.
When he was young, this guy was a genius. This is not an exaggeration. He was a chemist, a researcher, and he co-founded a company with his college partner that would eventually be worth billions of dollars. But something went wrong between the two of them, something personal, and he walked away. Or was pushed out. Depends on who you believe. Either way, he sold his share for almost nothing and watched them from the outside as his former partner built an empire on the work they had started together. He got married, had a son. He took his teaching job at a public high school because he needed the health insurance. He worked a second job at a car wash on weekends. He was the most overqualified person in every single room he ever walked into. And then he got a diagnosis. Lung cancer. Inoperable. Terminal. He was 50 years old and he was going to die. And the life he had lived up to that point was so small, so quiet, that it would barely leave a mark when he was gone. So he did something. He shaved his head. And the man who looked back at him in the mirror was someone his wife and his son and everyone who had ever known him had never met. This man was not a good man. What he did after that shave destroyed his family, destroyed his community, and left a trail of bodies across the American Southwest. He was, for the first time in his adult life, not pretending to be someone he wasn't. Here's what makes him essential to this list. His transformation is the most famous depiction of baldness as identity in the history of storytelling. Before the shave, invisible. After it, terrifying. The hair coming off was not a side effect of his illness. It was a choice. It was the moment he stopped being the man the world expected, and he became the man who knocked. You may know him as the chemist from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His name, of course, is Walter White, and you may know him as Heisenberg.
Really? Fake? You're starting the list with a fake guy.
This is Producer.
A fictional
that
character.
That is a 3D animated
First of all, that's
render
AI.
of
That's
Walter
dumb.
White.
There
you go.
Thank you.
Good
But also,
grief.
your first person on the list is a fictional character?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. There he is with hair. Before he became amazing. Before he was the one who knocks.
I'm glad I didn't joke at the beginning because I was going to say Walter White at the beginning when you said a teacher who got cancer.
Don't guess.
I'm not guessing.
You almost just told me you almost guessed. You said I almost guessed.
And then I stopped myself because I know not to.
All right, number 9. This guy grew up with working class in Los Angeles. They're not all fictional characters.
Okay.
They may be, they may not be. It's all up in the air. His father was a stock car racer, not a famous one, the local circuit kind. A weekend warrior who smelled like motor oil and loved his kids more than anything on the track. The little boy worshipped him. He and his younger sister grew up in the garage and around a car that the father had built with his own 2 hands. His father was killed in a racing accident, and the boy who watched it happen tracked down the man responsible and beat him nearly to death with a wrench in front of a crowd.
Yep.
He went to prison for it.
I know.
When he got out, he was quieter and harder, but not empty.
Nope.
He came home to the same house. Feel free to scream at your radio, everybody. That's fine. Came home to the same street, the same garage. There he kept his dad's Charger. Mm-hmm. And he built a family out of people. He
did indeed, Chris.
Who had nowhere else to go. There was a girl he had loved since he was a teenager. She stayed. There was a friend who was like a brother, a cop who came into his life, undercover, ended up choosing loyalty over the law. There were others, people the world had written off, people with records and bad luck and nowhere to sleep, and he brought them all to the same table and fed them and called them family, and he meant it. He ran a market in a garage, and he raced quarter-mile stretches of empty road at night with people who would die for him.
That's how he lived his life.
Die for them
Chris.
in
Did
return.
You know, a quarter mile at a time. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
he was not a legal man. He hijacked trucks. He lived outside the system, but he had a code.
Became a mercenary somehow?
And the code was simple. You show up for your people, no matter what, no exceptions, no hesitation. He drove a car his father built, and he never lost sight of what mattered. His name, of course, Dominic Toretto. And he would want you to know that you don't need friends when you've got family. Yes.
You literally
Legendary
started this
man.
one by saying not all of these are fictional characters, and then went on to
true.
describe another fictional character.
That's called gaslighting.
That's called misdirection.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, boy.
I mean, who else stops a nuclear submarine with a Dodge Charger?
Yeah, exactly. Next
dude's
up,
bald,
we have
too. He's bald.
Mr. Peanut.
He can do anything.
And, and then we're going to have, who else can be on this list as a fictional character?
Missed opportunity. Call out to the burnt peanut, everybody. Call out to the burnt peanut.
I meant the actual Mr. Peanut, with the top hat and planters nuts. But.
Speaking of family, I would like you to tell us about Nokian, who is one of our longest and most loyal partners. Tell us about Nokian Tire.
They are, of course, the world's foremost producer, very much the inventor of the winter tire. And they, of course, have released their most recent tire, which is probably the biggest. What did they say? Their CEO called it the biggest invention in tire technology since the advent of the winter tire itself, which is, of course, the new Hakkapeliitta 01, which has the self-retracting studs.
Let me say something. I want to interrupt you here. Okay, I was getting tires balanced at the tire shop, and I've got the Nokians with the studs outside. And we were talking, it's Samaritan Tire, local shop. Love them. If you're local, best tire shop in town, hands down. There's two of them. One in Edina.
On you or something.
No, they did. I've been going there for 20 years. Blake there is awesome. Anyway, I go in and I was just talking to him, and I was talking about Nokian tires. And I said, hey, I've got Nokian studded tires on the car outside. And this girl's eyes lit up because she thought it was the new ones. And she was excited to
really?
See. Yeah, and she's like, can I see them? And I'm like, oh, it's not the new ones or whatever. But I just want to point this out. People are excited about this. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Now, I don't know if Nokian is going to be able to lobby the government of Minnesota to overturn whether you can drive studded tires or not, because that sounds very expensive. But I hope so. Because I'd like to be able to use these. I'm
curious if these get like a different qualification, because they're only studded some of the time. They deploy and retract, as we know. It is responsive. The stud behavior through an advanced tire compound. When the road temperature is at or below freezing, the rubber stays stiff and keeps the studs firmly in place. But as the temperature rises and the road surface warms, the compound softens and allows the studs to sink deeper into the tire. So it's the best of both worlds. You get better grip while remaining quiet and protecting the road surface when the weather is warmer. In addition, of course, they have their Surpass AO1, AO1? Yes, Surpass AS01, which is the high-performance all-season tire made specifically for drivers who want the most out of their cars without sacrificing capability when the roads get slick. When you're on your next adventure or just going to the grocery store, grip and traction matter.
Or trying to escape your seasonal affective disorder in Minnesota in March with all the snow. Yeah.
Yep.
I backed right. You know the big mound that gets at the end of the driveway?
Mm-hmm.
I just backed right over it. Idle speed. No problem.
Not a problem. They also come with a 55,000-mile warranty, Nokian Tires pothole protection. So if you happen to damage your tire beyond repair, Nokian will replace it for free. Check them out at NokianTires.com.
Number 8.
Uh-huh.
This guy was born in a mid-sized American city. His mother left when he was young. His father was cold and dismissive his whole life and never once told the boy he was proud of him. He grew up hungry for approval that would never come. He barely finished high school. He got a job at the nuclear power plant locally, and not because he was qualified, but because they needed a body in a chair.
Damn it!
He married a woman who was smarter, kinder, and more patient than he had any right to ask for. They had 2 children.
That's not
Just
true,
kidding.
Chris.
Just kidding. They had 3 children.
Yeah.
He was not a good provider, and he was not an attentive husband. He forgot things and he broke things.
Chris.
He ate too much and drank too much and fell asleep at his station and made the same mistakes over and over again. Yet, every single time his family needed him, he showed up. Not gracefully and not on time, but he showed up. When his daughter needed someone to believe in her, he did. When his son needed someone to take the fall, he took it. When his wife needed a reason to stay, he gave her one. Barely. It was barely enough. But it was enough. He's not a hero. He's not a role model. He is the most honest portrait of fatherhood ever put on screen because he gets it wrong almost every time and never stops trying. He lives at 742 Evergreen Terrace with a wife named Marge, a boy named Bart, and daughters named Lisa and Maggie. His name is, of course, Homer J. Simpson.
Woohoo!
Wow! Well, there he is. Look at that hair. Oh, there's little guy right there. Amazing. Homer Simpson, one of the most legendary bald people of all time. Now, these could be fictional or they could be real. We don't know. We don't know.
Starting to sense a theme here, we may say.
This legend was born in 1966 in Brooklyn. Bedford-Stuyvesant at first, then Brownsville, which at the time was the most violent neighborhood in New York City. His father left when he was 2. His mother was an alcoholic. He had a lisp and a high voice, and he was small for his age, and other kids beat on him constantly. By the time he was 13 years old, he had been arrested 38 times. 38 times.
By
armed robbery. By the age of 13. 38 times. Armed robbery, petty theft, whatever was happening on the block that day. He could barely read. You like these mysteries, don't you, Jake? Your brain is just going a million miles an hour. I love it. He was running with a crew that used to empty cash registers while the other kids held people at gunpoint.
What?
He got sent to a reform school upstate, a juvenile detention facility called Tryon. And that should have been the end of the story. Kid from Brownsville does time, comes out worse, cycle continues. But there was a counselor at Tryon named Bobby Stewart. Bobby Stewart was a former Golden Gloves champion, and he saw something in this kid that nobody else had ever looked hard enough to find. Stewart taught him the basics and then called a friend, an old boxing trainer up in Catskill, New York, a 70-something-year-old man called Cus D'Amato, who had already trained 2 world champions and basically retired into obscurity. D'Amato watched this kid hit the bag one time and told him, if you want to stay here and if you want to listen, you could be the heavyweight champion of the world someday. D'Amato took him in. When the kid's mother died 2 years later, D'Amato became his legal guardian. He fed him, trained him, and watched old fight footage with him and slowly turned a boy who had never been told he was worth anything into the most terrifying force the sport had ever seen. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in the history of boxing at just 20 years old, just 1 year after D'Amato, the only father he ever knew, died without seeing it happen. His name is Iron Mike Tyson.
I did not know that one.
There you go. We got him. Boys. We got him. Yeah, that Mike Tyson had a hell of an upbringing, and he's always lamented the fact that basically his father, D'Amato, never got to see him become champion. He died. Before he could get it done.
And there the two come together.
There they are. All right. This is number 6, Jake. Number 6.
Okay.
Number 6. This champion's father was an Iranian Olympic boxer who changed the family name when he came to America. He settled in Las Vegas and built a homemade ball machine in his backyard out of a modified pitching device that fired tennis balls at his children like a cannon. The kid hated tennis from the day he could hold a racket. His father didn't care. At just 13, he got sent to a tennis academy in Florida. He shaved the sides of his head into a mohawk and wore denim cutoff shorts on the court just to spite everyone around him. He turned pro at just 16. By 19, he was one of the most famous athletes on the planet, and at 19, he started losing his hair. He did not shave it, and he did not own it. He panicked. He got a wig, a full mullet hairpiece that he wore during matches, held in place with a headband and a prayer. For 5 years, the most recognizable head of hair in professional sports was completely fake. In 1990, he made his first Grand Slam final at the French Open. The night before the biggest match of his life, he got in the shower and felt the hairpiece come apart in his hands. He called his brother in a panic, and they clamped it back together with 20 bobby pins. His brother looked at it and just said, "Yeah, I don't know, just don't move much." The next morning, he warmed up and prayed, not for victory, but for his wig to stay on. He spent the entire match terrified that every lunge, every dive for a ball would send it tumbling onto the red clay in front of millions of people. He lost.
Yeah.
5 years later, someone he loved told him to just shave it.
Yeah.
He said it felt like she was asking him to pull out all his teeth, but he did it anyway, and it took just 11 minutes. He went to the Australian Open and didn't drop a single set on his way to the final. Not a single set. He said afterward that the wig had been a shackle, and once it was gone, he was free. He lost his first Grand Slam final because he was more worried about his wig than his opponent. He won 6 more after he finally took it off. His name, Andre Agassi. Agassi, yeah, the man.
That I never knew that story. That's crazy.
Look at that. That's not real, dude. That hair's not real.
That was the wig.
That's not real.
That's wild.
Isn't that insane? Unbelievable. Obviously that's real. Early days there. Early days. All right. Number 5. Number 5. All right. He was born in 1874 into one of the most famous families in England. His father was a prominent politician and his mother was an American socialite, and neither one of them had much time for him. Maybe his lack of parenting causes baldness, Jake.
Yeah, there's kind of a theme here, isn't there?
There's a theme here. He was raised largely by his nanny, a woman named Elizabeth Everest. And he later said she was the only person in his childhood who showed him what love was. He was a good student. He failed the entrance exam, though, to the Royal Military College at Sandhurst twice before barely escaping through on his 3rd attempt. His father died shortly after, already disappointed in him. He was 20 years old and already completely written off. He joined the army, saw combat in India and Sudan, and then got himself hired as a war correspondent in South Africa during the Boer War. In 1899, the armored train he was riding was ambushed. He was captured and thrown into a prisoner of war camp in Pretoria. He climbed the wall there, dropped into the night, and walked nearly 300 miles through enemy territory with no map, no food, and no contact. He made it out alive.
Wow.
Big time.
Wow.
He came home a celebrity, ran for parliament, lost. He ran again and won. And then for the next 30 years, he was the man nobody trusted with power. He switched parties, backed catastrophic military campaigns. He drank too much and painted watercolors. And he warned anyone who would listen that Germany was rearming and that a war was coming that would be worse than the last one. Nobody listened. By 1940, he was 65 years old and considered a relic of British politics. And then the Germans invaded France and everything collapsed. And the only person the country trusted to stand in front of the fire was the old man they'd all dismissed. He did not win the war with a weapon. He won it with his voice. He stood behind a podium, bald and round and utterly unimposing to look at. And he spoke. And what he said held a nation together when there was no rational reason to believe it would survive. He was written off by his country for 30 years, and then his country needed someone to stand in the fire, and he was the only one left. His name is Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill. The man. And he gets a bad rap these days. You know, he really does. It's like a little bit of rewriting of history, and I think he was a pretty good and very timely man to have at the helm during that trying time. You know what I bet he wish he had when he climbed over that wall?
I bet he wish he had a way he could navigate, Chris.
I bet he wishes
like where boundaries were, you know,
land boundaries. Yes,
yeah, that might have been
not accidentally going to Rhodesia or something.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you know, maybe he should have had Onyx. If you're
Yes,
looking
I
for
believe
the
he should
best
have.
app for navigating your next adventure, they have over 750,000 miles of trails and comprehensive offline maps you can explore without worrying about self-service. I actually just learned that they also have their own trail scouts that they
Yes, this is cool.
outfit, send out, and these are real people that are rating trails and re-navigating the trails and mapping them in real time so that it's not just outdated data. It also has public and private land boundaries, like we said. So if you're trying to navigate behind enemy lines, that would be helpful. Or, you know, if you just want to know where you can legally offer and explore.
Jake, I don't think Onyx is sending out their scouts to find out where the enemy front lines are. I don't know. Let's not put that on them. Let's not put that on. But if you got a crazy neighbor and you're wondering where your line is, you could probably look at that.
If you want to stay connected, the app features self-service layer as well as all sorts of different layers and features. We also learned about one that lets you keep in touch with people and your kind of cohorts on the app, which we just tried to explore. It was really cool.
Lots of new features coming. It'll be fun.
Route builder, waypoint marking, real-time updates, route sharing. You'll be fully equipped. Try it for free for 7 days. Hit the trails with confidence. Download Onyx Off-Road today.
All right, this is number 4, and we're at half an hour. Yeah, we'll be good on time. All right, this next balding genius, legend, man, was born around 100 BC into a Roman family that had a famous name and no money. The name carried weight in the Senate, but the bank account did not. He was, by the standards of Roman aristocracy, a well-bred nobody. When he was in his mid-20s, he was captured by pirates in the Mediterranean. They held him for ransom and set the price at 20 talents of silver. He laughed at them. A talent. Yeah, I learned a talent is the,
That's cool.
Hey, Jake, do you know why they put the little ridges on the edges of coins?
Yeah, it's because you used to be able to shave it down,
Yeah.
And still spend it because, that's the coin, right? But then after a while, you'd have a pile of silver.
Yeah, exactly. So the little ridges, it doesn't get filed down. He told them they had no idea who they had and demanded they raise the ransom to 50 because 20 was an insult. While he waited for the money to arrive, he joked with the pirates and recited poetry to them and told them plainly and cheerfully that once he was free, he would come back and crucify every last one of them. They thought it was hilarious. He was released. He raised a fleet, hunted them down, and did exactly what he said he would do. He went on to conquer Gaul, which is modern-day France, Belgium, and parts of Germany and Britain. He crossed the Rubicon with a single legion and started a war that he won. He became dictator of Rome and the most powerful man in the entire world, Western world. And the entire time, he was losing his hair. Ancient historians describe him as deeply self-conscious about it. He grew what he had long in the back and combed it forward. This, Jake, might be the original comb-over. When that wasn't enough, the Roman Senate passed a special decree allowing him to wear a laurel wreath at times. It was technically a military honor, but it was widely understood to be a favor to his vanity. He conquered the known world and still could not get over what was on top of his head. He was assassinated in 44 BC, stabbed 23 times on the floor of the Senate by men he trusted. Every emperor who followed took his name as a title: Kaiser, Tsar. All of it traces back to one self-conscious bald man who changed the calendar. This is a man who told the pirates he would come back and kill them. And they laughed, and he did. 2,000 years later, we still name a month after him. July. He is not the creator of the Caesar salad. That was Caesar Cardini, also bald. This guy's name is Gaius Julius Caesar. Mr. Not Caesar salad. Yeah, there he is. The first original comb over. I don't mind Caesar. What's your favorite salad, Jake?
I like Caesar. Yeah, that might be one of my favorites, actually.
Wedge salad for me. Blue cheese,
Wedge,
steak.
Blue. Yeah, that's good too. Yeah. That's very good. Yeah. Got the bacon on there.
Yeah.
What is this? What am I looking at here?
Producer?
Who's that?
Who's that, Mrs. Producer?
Oh, that was someone in the
That's the Caesar. That's Caesar Cardini. Yeah. That's Caesar Cardini, the inventor of the Caesar salad.
Got it.
Okay. I thought it was Julius Caesar, the Caesar salad. Poor Caesar Cardini, never getting his due. What a bummer for that guy, right? All right, moving on to number 3. We're getting good ones here now, Jake. These are going to start getting really good. And now we're kind of into these are some really relevant ones. You know, we got Churchill, you got Julius Caesar. These are some really important dudes that didn't have any hair.
I'm okay. I know what you're doing here, Chris.
Every other man on this list became more powerful after losing his hair. This one lost everything when he lost his. He was born to parents who had been told by a messenger of God that their son would be set apart and consecrated. There was a covenant. The boy would live under a vow that included one rule above all others. His hair must never be cut. As long as it remained, he would carry the strength of something beyond himself.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
The stories say he killed a lion with his bare hands. He fought 1,000 men with nothing but the jawbone of a donkey, and he walked away.
Which is a very random thing to use.
Well, you got what you got. You know, you got what you got. He tore the gates off a city and carried them up a mountain. He was not a general or a king. He was a weapon. And then, unfortunately, he fell in love. Her name was Delilah. And the men who wanted him destroyed
Delilah
came to her first and said, find out where this man's strength comes from. Like every woman, she betrayed him, asked him 3 times, and 3 times he lied. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. The 4th time, he told her the truth. If my head is shaved, my strength shall leave me. She waited until he fell asleep in her lap and called for a man to cut his hair while he slept. When he woke up, it was gone. All of it. The strength, the covenant, the identity, everything. His enemies seized him and gouged out his eyes and chained him in a prison where he spent days grinding grain like an animal. But here's the part that people often forget. His hair grew back. And in one final act, blind and chained between 2 pillars of a temple packed with 3,000 of his enemies, he pushed and he pulled, and the whole thing came down on all of them, including himself. The only man on this list who was definitely stronger with his hair than without it, and the only one who brought the house down on his way out. His name is Samson. Yes, we got a picture of Samson?
Nice.
That's not Samson. Is that Samson?
No.
Oh, it is. Look, he's bald. Look at those creeps.
Oh, because she's going, shh.
Shh, cut his hair. Shh.
Yeah,
Don't, shh.
do it. Shh.
Poor Samson betrayed. Yeah, poor Samson. All right, you ready?
What's the, there was a, the song,
that was
Hallelujah.
horrible.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Because that has a line in there.
Is there
about
Samson?
too.
Ah, yes.
So she cut your hair.
Yeah, you definitely don't want your wife to cut your hair.
No. Got
Born in 1869, number two.
Okay.
In a coastal town in western India, this man's family was upper caste, comfortable. His father was a local government official, and there was money and status. Expectation often comes with both of those. Mm-hmm. And at 18, he sailed to London to study law. He arrived in a 3-piece suit. He took dancing lessons and tried to learn the violin. He was by every measure a young man doing everything in his power to become the proper English gentleman. He passed the bar and returned to India and failed almost immediately. He was shy, terrified of public speaking, and could barely hold his own in a courtroom. So he took a job in South Africa, figuring he'd spend a year doing legal work and then come home. And then, on a train from Durban to Pretoria, everything changed. He had a first-class ticket. A white passenger objected to sharing the compartment with an Indian man, and the conductor told him to move to third class. He refused. They threw him off the train at Pietermaritzburg station, and he sat on the platform in the cold with his luggage. In that moment, something turned over inside of him that would never turn back. He stayed in South Africa for 21 years. When he finally returned to India, he had shed the three-piece suit entirely. Now he wore a simple white cloth and he shaved his head, and he did something that he had never done before. He fought an empire without raising a fist. He marched 240 miles to the sea and made salt from the ocean in open defiance of British law. They arrested him and he did not resist. They beat his followers at the Darasana Salt Works, and not one of them raised a hand to fight back. The international press watched it happen, and the moral authority of the British Empire cracked in front of the entire world. He was jailed over and over, and each time he came out thinner and quieter and somehow harder to ignore. And in 1947, the British Empire, the largest political entity the world had ever known, left India. Not because it was defeated in battle, but because it had lost something it could never get back. 300 million people followed that bald man in a white cloth, and the most powerful empire in human history packed its bags and left. His name, of course, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Number two. Number two. What a guy.
I didn't know he was
brought down the British Empire. Yeah, I didn't know the back history of him either. You know, you always kind of hear of the peaceful protest thing that he did, but you didn't know that he was just a regular dude that, couldn't even speak to anyone in public and went to South Africa and got thrown off a train.
Wow.
All right, Jake. Why don't you take this moment to tell me about FCP Euro? We'll make everybody wait just a little bit longer, huh?
Yeah, FCP Euro is an online retailer of OE, OEM, genuine aftermarket, and performance parts for European cars. BMW, Porsche, Volvo, Audi, Volkswagen, and more. Their catalog is your one-stop shop with over 275,000 unique products, including, of course, their expert-assembled kits to make shopping simpler. Whether you're doing a suspension overhaul, oil change, or any other job that might require, a few extra parts, you don't have to guess what those might be with the kit. And will get everything that you need for the job. Plus, every product they sell is backed by a lifetime replacement guarantee, even wear items like wiper blades, brake pads, and oil filters. And with the opening of their distribution center in Arizona a couple years ago, they now ship from both coasts, serving most of the country in 3 days or less with free shipping. They are great people that are behind the brand. It's not just a good company. It is good people behind them. They're real people who are passionate about what they do and the cars we love, while making sure to put you, the customer, first. Check them out.
One would say the customer is their number one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that? You would say that? All right, let's move on to our number one. Our number one.
I get it. I was
yes.
That's not the slogan, thick. Chris. What are you doing?
You are thicker than your hair.
Hey,
This absolute legend, number one. This is my number one, okay? My number one. This absolute legend was born in 1963 in Brooklyn, New York, the fourth of 5 children. His father worked at the General Electric plant and his mother worked at a bank. When he was a toddler, the family moved to Wilmington, and that's where this boy grew up. He was not the best athlete in his family. His older brother, Larry, was better, stronger, and more explosive. They played one-on-one in the backyard every single day, and Larry won almost every time. The younger brother later said that everything he became started in that driveway, getting beat by a kid 2 years older who refused to just let him win. In his sophomore year of high school, he tried out for the varsity basketball team, and he didn't make it. They put him on JV instead. There are a lot of stories about what happened next, and most of them have been exaggerated over the years, but the core of it all is true. He went home, and whatever he felt that night, whether it was embarrassment or anger or something quieter, he came back the next day and started working in a way that he had not worked before. He made varsity the following year and led the team. He got a scholarship to college, hit the game-winning shot in the national championship as a freshman, and was drafted into the NBA, 3rd overall in 1984. This guy was not the biggest player. He wasn't the tallest, but he had something that other guys didn't. And it was not just talent. It was an absolute, borderline pathological refusal to lose. He took everything personally. A slight from a teammate, a look from an opponent, a newspaper headline. He stored all of it and converted it into fuel, and they went out and destroyed whoever was standing in front of him. He started losing his hair in his mid-20s during his first MVP season, and his hairline began pulling back around that time. By 1989, he was shaving it clean. And here's what matters about that. In the late 1980s, a bald head on a young black man in mainstream American culture was not what it is today. It was not aspirational. It was not stylish. It was what happened when you got old. He was 26 years old, and he had just shaved it and dared the world to say something. Nobody said a word. Because by then, the silhouette was already iconic. The bald head, the long shorts, the tongue out, the ball in one hand 6 feet above the rim. You didn't need to see his face. You knew exactly who it was. He didn't just normalize baldness for black men. He made it the most recognizable image in the history of the sport. 6 championships, 5 MVPs, 2 Olympic gold medals, 14 all-star selections, a shoe brand worth more than most countries' entire GDP. And then there's the logo. Nothing more than a silhouette of a bald man jumping. That's it. That's the whole image. And every single person on earth knows exactly who it is. His name, of course, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The GOAT. The absolute GOAT. And, I didn't know that it was, he set a revolution with that. I was unaware.
Yeah, I guess.
But there he is with hair. Man, I remember watching Michael Jordan when I was a kid, and really inspiring me. And as a kid, I guess I would have been like 12, 13 years old when he was winning championships and doing all the things that he did. So I didn't really get like the whole work ethic thing. But then he had that game where I remember watching it, and they said he had the flu game, where he went out and played in the championships and scored like, I don't know, 38 points or whatever it was. I don't know. I'm not that much of a nerd. But I do remember going, wow. The guy just played in a basketball game while he has the flu. I, at that point, knew what the flu was. I remember I barfed on my birthday cake once.
Oh, no.
I was like,
That's so sad.
Oh, it was so very sad. That's it, Jake. That's the top 10 list. Actually, there's one more.
Okay.
He was born in the mid-1980s in the upper Midwest. Quiet suburb, nothing remarkable about the geography. His mother was in and out. She was drug-addled, but kind, and she and his father were never married. His father was always working on bridges far away, and while he tried his best, he was often violent. For a while, the boy lived with his mother, and then one day she dropped him off at his grandparents' doorstep. That was that. Left like a package on the porch. His grandparents raised him, and they gave him something no one else had, which was a steady house and a place where rules made sense because the people enforcing them actually loved him. He went to college in San Francisco to study 3D animation and special effects engineering, and he remembers his grandmother crying as he walked down the jetway to leave for college. It was the farthest he had ever been from home and the farthest anyone in his life had ever believed he would go. He came back to the Midwest and got a job in a photo lab and learned how a camera worked. He started shooting weddings and then became a manager at Best Buy. What a career. He moved in with his father in high school, before this, and in his early 20s, they had gotten it. This is wrong. I actually had AI write about me because I felt so uncomfortable with this, Jake. Yeah. I was comfortable with it. He moved in with his father, blah, blah, blah. He worked on cars, blah, blah, blah. He started a car club. He's 100,000 miles cars. He's just blowing his grandparents did get to see what he was building, but they never got to see what he built. He's okay with being alone. He learned that young on a bicycle at sunrise with nowhere to be and no one expecting him back. And he still believes that some of the best moments a person can have are the ones where no one else is around. Recently, his wife made him shave his head. And when he looked in the mirror, he thought about every man on this list. The Egyptian with the crocodile fat, the Roman with the laurel wreath, the fighter from Brownsville, and the tennis player with the 20 bobby pins, and thought, yeah, I belong here. His name is Chris Kluel.
That's a transformation.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's it.
So I called this morning. We were on a call, and you accidentally lifted your hat a little bit, so like that. And I was like, what was that? And I should have put it together doing the bald thing.
You didn't till just recently here?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh boy. Well, this is it. This was Jesse comes to me. She goes, "It's time." I go, "Yeah, it's time. We're gonna put my hair out to pasture." And she gets the trimmer, and she's going, trimming the hair, doing the thing. And of course, we get about halfway done and it dies. So I'm stuck with like half of my hair. I'm in my underwear on a towel in the bedroom, just like, well, I can't leave like this. It's just the kids hate it. They're like, "Who are you?" I do have a normal shaped head though, which is good. I have a very round head. I don't have any dents. I do have a scar right here somewhere. I remember when I was a kid, I was walking next to this fence, and my arch nemesis, I can't remember the little shitty kid's name. He's a bully. Threw a piece of asphalt over a fence, and it hit me right in the head. So I got a little scar right there. But I got a hard head, so it didn't dent anything. Just gave me a.
We do know you're hard-headed. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Give me a little bit. All right, we've got other things to talk about.
How does it has to feel weird though?
It's cold. It's cold and shocking every time I look at it. I don't really like it very much.
I've always been a hat guy though, so I feel like
because I've been balding for like 10 years. Like I have a bald spot on the top of my head, and my hairline is receded like really far back. Are we?
I like she's just going back to photos.
What are all these photos? These are all photoshops of me. There's me as me with my audio stack. What else we got? Me as the guy from the JBL. Oh no, the Maxell commercial.
Yep.
She does not have any photos of my bald spot apparently. I think this probably stays. Jesse really likes it, or at least she says she does, and we're pretty honest with each other. So yeah, I'm bald now. So that's the first person I called was Kenny. I called Kenny, and Kenny Perkins, our buddy, and helps out. Yeah. So I walked into Blake that works at Samaritan Tire. He's always had his head shaved. First thing I walk in there, I go, "I'm in the club," and I just took my hat off, and he's like, "Welcome to the club." I'm in the club.
Amazing.
Feels weird when your head's on a pillow. I wake up and sit up in front of the mirror. I'm like, oh God. It feels like kind of like a passage, like I'm old. I had to shave my head because my hair was falling out. So appreciate your hair, Jake. Appreciate it very much. All right, before we get into a little bit of, we got some news, and I know, we might. Do you want to roll into some stories, or what do you want to do here? You got a news article for us? You want to do one news article, then we'll do some of your whatever is fucking broken. Tell me about the common gear, Jake. Tell me about common gear before we get into all this other stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. So, the story of your car matters just as much as the machine itself. Every receipt, late night fix, every rally mile, that's your car's identity. But most of us have that history scattered everywhere. The Common Gear fixes that. It's a platform built by real car people that allows you to digitize all of your car's records, your maintenance builds, photos, provenance, all organized, all searchable, all in one place. So if you've got decades of paperwork. Maybe your car came with an entire binder. You can actually have them digitize it for you, remote or on site with their white glove service. Basically, you hand chaos over and they hand you a complete digital legacy of your vehicle. It adds credibility. It adds value when you go to sell your car. And you can go to thecommongear.com, make your account for free, and start building your car's digital legacy today. Check them out.
All right. What have you got for news for us, Shake? Give us one.
Right.
Give us one, and then we can talk about broken things.
Let me find it here. This is kind of fitting because, we're talking about, clearly you had a big change by shaving your head. Well, let's pretend for a moment there was another big change. Let's say history was different and you didn't decide to buy a house last year. Maybe instead you said, screw this to family and responsibilities and being an adult. And you said, I'm going to go out and buy a brand new GT3. Why not? Doing that instead. Okay.
Crisis time. Hair's falling out.
Yeah.
Hair's falling out.
Go buy a
Existential
GT3.
crisis. Gonna buy a GT3. Yes.
Well, as we know, you
can't.
You can't just go out and buy one because the weight is insane. In addition to, the price, you get on the list, you do your order,
or they allocate. You can't even get one, even if the weight, even if you could. Which is why the used market is so crazy.
So this explains why a longtime Porsche enthusiast named Abdul Aziz, a Florida man, picked up a 2022 Florida man. Yep, that should tell you something right away. He picked up a 2022 GT3 with just 34 miles on it. This was sold as a new car. Now, granted, he bought this just last year with 34 miles on it. But again, this was basically a clean, immediate, no-wait GT3, brand new. So, okay, I'm going to buy it. He paid $281,000, which, by the way, is, even though it was a couple years old, that is basically market rate, right? It's MSRP is around 160. When you start, optioning it, you'll get up to 200. And, with demand and everything else, the fact that this one was available right there, $280,000, brand new GT3, he's a happy man, right?
Sure.
They said it had 34 miles on it because it was used for light promotional purposes. Basically, it was like a showroom car, and they
light promotional purposes, like lighting it up.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think it was more like described as maybe they brought it out to, a event or something.
Car show, right? Cars and coffee, something. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it was just their dealership car, right? Well, according to the recent lawsuit, that was not at all true, Chris. What happened was he started to see issues with the car. And when they dug into it, the car had reportedly spent over a year in Porsche's very own technical apprentice training program, where it was used as a hands-on training tool, which is a polite way of saying it had been taken apart and put back together by people who were still learning how to take things apart and put them back together.
Over and over and over again.
When the purchaser asked the dealer
What
for
fell
a
off?
window sticker, the dealer goes, "Oh shoot, you know what? We must have lost that. We don't see it." So that's suspicious.
Oh, no.
Then he gets the car home, opens the glove box, and he found the window sticker. But it said, big bold type over where the window sticker would be, PCNA car not for public sale. Pretty subtle, right? So shortly after, the issues actually started. Electrical problems, undercarriage components that had clearly been removed and not quite reinstalled with the precision they would be expected. Technicians, when he brought the car in for service, reportedly confirmed what you're now thinking. This car had been worked on before a lot. Eventually, it became undrivable with electronics issues and all sorts of weird gremlins and just rattles and things not working. It sat for nearly a year. Now, Aziz then brought the dealership to court and won the lemon law arbitration, forcing Porsche to buy the car back. However,
why would they go through that horrible PR? Just give him his money back and take the car back. Like, what are you doing?
Yep, it's still not settled though, because they agreed to do what the law told them and give the money back due to lemon law, but they did not agree to refund things like taxes and finance costs and title and license and all of that. So he is basically appealing this and saying like, come on, what are you doing? Like, and also suing them for damages, by the way, because now they've had his money for this long. And
yeah, you could have earned like, what would you earn if you had like just
$280,000 for a year and a half, 2 years? So,
just in spy or something. Yeah. You could just have made a ton of money.
It's, as it stands, he still has the car, which is a non-operable. The dealership and Porsche have declined to comment on the issue. The lawsuit alleges everything from misrepresentation to outright fraud on their behalf. So it is a good thing you simply shaved your head and not go out and buy what was not even that big of a steal of a deal. But
I never chalk up to malice, which is most often incompetence.
Yes.
Somebody fucked up.
Yes. Never. What is it? There's a saying. Yeah. Never.
Yeah, there's a saying. It's never
attribute to malice what could be, basically
incompetence, which is more often than not incompetence or stupidity or accident or whatever. It's just
listed the car
nobody went, ooh, I know what we're gonna do with this car. Let's make some money. It's just, come on, nobody would do that. Like,
but then why aren't these idiots at the dealers just saying like, oh crap, here, let's refund you, and guess what? We'll get you on a list for another new GT3, like, and then they could make more money off the dude, but instead they're paying all of these legal costs. It's just so stupid. And
what a nightmare. What a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of nightmares, Chris.
The Overcrest driving team?
What a nightmare. No, I was going to talk about things breaking over here. But
let's talk about something that we're rebuilding.
Yes.
Let's talk about something that we're rebuilding. Yes. As many of you know, and I've seen a lot of people upgrading their membership so they can get cooler stuff, we're redoing the Overcrest Drivers Club to be the Overcrest Driving Team. And you're going to see new branding roll out with that. You're going to see, if you go and you look at the list of stuff that you get, it's new. We used to get something once, and then that's it. Now you get something once a year, or twice a year? Is it once a year or twice a year? I don't remember if we're going to, I think once a year.
What does it say, Mrs. Producer?
What does it say? I can't read. That's way too small. I think it's once a year.
Blah, 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 blah.
But maybe we'll
annual drivers.
Yeah, annual.
Drop. Yep. Okay.
Annual drop. First drop is going to be this summer. Summer. If you're not a member now, you need to sign up. Get on the game. It's like $5. You can get something really dope. It's going to be dope. It is.
Sign up after you see everyone posting their cool thing that they got. Well, you're going to have to wait a year, because
you're going to have to wait a year. But don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that just signs up for
that's why I'm saying.
cancels.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Just sign up now. Don't be a freeloader. It's like, you guys spend more money on that on coffee and Red Bulls. I know you do. So give it to me and Jake instead, and Jeff. And give it to Overcrest so we can do cool stuff. Anyway, that's overcrestproductions.com/ I don't know anymore.
Yep, that'll work.
What? Anything directs to. But for now, if you want to just go look at stuff, you can go to patreon.com/Overcrest is where you'll find. And the link in the show notes. It'll be there. Yeah. Jake, what broke? Drivers. What's cold? What's no good?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with like most not horrific and pretty much expected to then the
Jake's top 10 things that broke in the last 2 weeks. Okay,
correct,
got it.
100%. So we got a ton of snow. It was very heavy and wet. So I broke out old Bessie, the old rusty plow truck, the diesel, and it just lives on a trickle charger now, because
it's called Hanlon's Razor. Mrs. Producer just sent it to me.
Okay.
Hanlon's Razor is an adage or rule of thumb that states, never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity.
Yep. 100%.
I like that. I like that very, very, very much.
I feel like
a philosophical
most
razor
things
that
in, like, government can be attributed to that. Is there something where it's like, well, I feel like there's so many conspiracy theories out there, right? They're like, yeah, this is all a conspiracy. It's the new world.
I would say that's not stupidity. I would say that's abdication of responsibility is where a lot of the government problems come from.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to talk about government.
No,
Go ahead.
We won't
continue on.
However, power steering pumps that just sometimes fail, unlike unresponsive.
Do they?
I was trying to make a link there.
Oh.
Yes. So I was using the plow truck because this snow was very heavy. I couldn't move it with anything else. What? What?
You just bought a truck.
Yeah. It doesn't have a plow on it.
Why not?
I'm not going to.
What is the point of?
You have never.
What is the point of this truck? What is the point of this truck?
Which truck?
This new truck. What? The one you just bought.
That's my daily truck. You have a daily
I
truck.
cannot believe. I cannot believe how.
And then I have my summer truck.
Jake.
What?
That truck was the dumbest thing you've ever purchased. I cannot believe it.
It's quite nice. I enjoy it. I like
I'm
it.
sure it's very nice. I'm sure it's very. Does it make you happy? Do you get into it and you're like, yeah, it's a nice truck?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
And then you get in the other one, the plow truck, and you go, I hate my life.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Because I like still use it and want to use it because you don't realize how violent. Well, it's basically because I hate that truck, I'm just not nice to it. So like I just, run into things.
Slamming it apart, into reverse.
Yeah, and I just. However, when you have like both the hubs locked in 4-wheel and you have the heavy ass plow on the front and you're like trying to turn through a snowbank, and then all of a sudden you're like, what are all these red drips everywhere around on the snow? That's kind of weird. What's bleeding? And then all of a sudden you hear the power steering kind of groaning. And then as you're trying to turn, it's impossible because if you don't have any power assist on that, then it's, and then your brakes don't work because it turns out with a diesel, there's no vacuum, of course, for your vacuum-assisted brakes, so they use the hydro assist, which, by the way, your trooper, you should look into a hydro assist, because I assume that thing has power steering, so you could use the power
I got it all figured out now.
Yeah, I've
got like a
vacuum pump that breaks every month.
No, I fixed it. I got so Volvo uses a vacuum pump for different things, and they have a vacuum switch that basically it turns on.
So it's not just
what's it called?
Hobbs.
It's called what?
Switch. Hobbs.
Hobbs switch? That's what it's called? Why is it called a Hobbs switch?
Pressure switch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a pressure switch, so it doesn't run all the time. It starts, it goes, and then just turns off when it reaches vacuum. So I'm fine. It should now last quite some time.
Okay. I'm not fine.
The only problem is that I used to use that to know when my glow plugs turned off because I don't have a light. Because the glow plugs would draw so much amperage that it would change the noise of the vacuum pump. So now I have to.
What about your dome light? Can you just be like, okay, yep,
Oh, that's actually not too bad. Just leave the door open a little bit.
Yeah.
Except the dome light doesn't work on the driver's side. Only all other 3 doors work, but not mine. There's a glow plug light in the dash because they did make this truck in a diesel. So I just have to figure out a way to do it and figure it out. And there's other things I want to do, like make the cruise control work because it could. Yeah. And I want to make the air conditioning work because it could. Yeah. So there's all kinds of different things I would like to do on that truck. So I should probably stop trying to just sell it and finish it.
That's the spirit. So things rusted.
So no brakes
on the plow truck. So yeah, no brakes. No. Well, I mean the brakes
None?
already.
Like no brakes?
Well, remember you may recall that
the calipers were seized.
Yeah, the calipers seized open, and then it ejected the brake pads. Remember, it was like grinding. Wheel was stuck, and I just kept going, and it went thunk. The brake pads just went out. So then the power steering high pressure line burst open, and so I was like, I kind of want to be able to use this a little bit. So I got the new power steering line. I did end up.
And you're not doing this work yourself. Why are you doing this work yourself? That is because like the most hellacious work.
Closed, Chris. Lucky Dog.
Oh, they did?
Down. Yes.
Unlucky.
Very unlucky.
You know what you should do is you should get that little. You should get that little truck thing.
The Pinsgauer? No.
The Pinsgauer.
Why?
Yeah.
For what?
I got the ad right here.
That's
I got the ad right here.
Practical vehicle I could ever buy. Impractical.
No. This thing's awesome. Hold on. I am going to. You could put a plow on this.
Here, it doesn't even have an enclosed cab. It's.
Yes, here it is.
Yeah.
4-cylinder, air-cooled motor, great. 5-speed, awesome. Runs and drives. There you go. Look at this thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Pinsgauer,
yeah.
Right.
It's got an enclosed cab. What are you talking about? It's got windows.
Yeah, the cloth top.
There is some dude that daily drives one of these in Siberia and doesn't complain. Guaranteed.
Definitely.
How much is it? $7,800.
Yeah. No, thanks. I don't need that. I'm just going to put my new power steering line on, and I did buy a brake caliper for it too, because it's my fix where I just bolted. I put a bolt through the brake line.
Yeah. Yes.
That's starting.
I've blocked off brake lines. Why? Just use the skid steer. My God. Just put up
again. You clearly have never plowed, because that doesn't have enough weight to it actually to plow big.
It has plenty of weight. You just have to get it off the road more often. So you just have to do this more often.
Yeah, that's lame. It also doesn't.
It's less lame than driving a truck with no brakes that you are going to hate yourself. Here's what I want you to do. Promise me you will do this, okay? Just right now. Promise. I promise. What? It's something you will do, so you can promise. I want you to promise me that when you are doing the work on this truck and you are in the middle of it, please promise me you will call me.
Okay, that I can do.
Okay? So when you are in the middle of this brake line hell, you have now promised to call me, and I'll record the call. I'll hit record on the call, and then we'll revisit this later. And maybe we'll do a video call because all your knuckles are going to be bleeding, everything else.
I'm not doing it today because it's cold, but it's supposed to be warmer out
later
this week, so I'll do it then.
It is. Well, you won't need the truck for quite some time anymore, exactly. So you might as well just park it and leave it alone.
Yep, that's where it is. So
what else broke?
That's like that's kind of lame, sucks, whatever. Then the more serious problem is it was last couple weeks ago when it was like actually feeling like spring. I went out to the barn and I was going to put the charger on the boat and make sure everything was good to go there and start to clean it up a little bit. And I opened the hatch to look in the engine compartment, and I'm like, with my light, what is that down there in the hull?
Oh no.
Oh, that's weird. What is that? Oh, I have a video. I'll send it to you. We can put it up later if you want.
Okay. Well, I just would rather have you describe it. Let's use the art of narration.
Okay. I'm seeing the reflection of a circle down in the hull, about that big. And I was like, yep, that's round. What is that? I pick it up. It's like a brass circle that's kind of like a cap. That's weird.
Like a pilot bearing?
No. Should I just tell you what it was? And then Okay, so it's circular.
Yeah.
And it's brass.
How big?
It is the size of a 50-cent piece. Okay, and it.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
Jake,
yeah.
no.
And then I find another.
You did not. You forgot to winterize your boat?
No, I did. I winterized it. However, I found 2 freeze plugs that are, by the way, misnomers. They're just casting cavities. They're not actually
holes.
Yeah,
they don't do anything.
They don't. So
they happen to be on the water jacket sometimes.
Right. And when you freeze your block, it turns out they do actually pop out. But 90% of the time, you also have cracked your block. So I have 2 things. One, the one side, the one plug that fell out, was clearly not factory. The rest of them were all painted, with the block. This one had marks where it's clearly someone put it back in.
Tapped it in.
And it was copper. So maybe it wasn't put in totally tight. And so maybe I'm going to get lucky. Maybe not. So because they're hard to get to, I'd have to take the starter off and the manifold off to even get them back in there correctly.
We'll just fill it up with water and see what happens.
There's literally giant holes in the side of the block, Chris, where these go.
Oh, you can't get the freeze plugs back in. It's not just you have no access.
Work. So they make little rubber temporary ones. So I bought those. I'm gonna put those in, and then I have a full hookup rather than using the stupid ear things. I could put the ears over the transom where it sucks up water, but I can't really tell what's going on. So I bought the full inline hose hookup thing, so you can pressurize the engine with your hose pressure. And I'm gonna see. Well,
you can't do not too much pressure. You're gonna pop that rubber one out right away. That's just gonna pop out of there instantly.
See. So
I would just take okay. I don't know how your boat works, but do you have a rubber tube that connects your exhaust manifold to your hull, the big rubber tube? Mm-hmm. Why don't you just take that off and then just fill up that side, fill it up with freaking water. Just pour water in your exhaust manifold and fill the engine up.
I think does kind of, yeah.
Well, yeah, shove a hose in there.
Yeah.
Whatever. You'll figure it out. That sucks.
Go out the exhaust anyways, but that's how you fill it up easily. And I can use that for winterizing.
I wish you the best of luck. That would be... What's in there?
It's a 454, a 7.4.
No, not the. What did you do? Did you just drain the water out, or did you run it on the pink stuff?
I ran it dry, and I put pink stuff in it. The problem is, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, but
mysteries. That's an honest. I would have already tried to figure this out because this would keep me up at night. When did you figure this out?
A couple weeks ago.
Over the weekend? Oh my gosh, dude, I couldn't live with that. How do you live with yourself?
It's just been like looking for new motors.
Oh, because you just want to. What do you want to? Can you put 2 motors in there?
No, you can. That boat came with duals. But,
yeah.
But then you'd have to like plug the center transom hole and put 2 new transoms in, or like 2 new. You know what I mean? Like the hull's already been cut for the single. But you could get like a built 502 and make like 600 horsepower on a single screw. That would work.
We should talk to our friends over at Mercury Marine next door.
Next door?
Yeah, they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll just get
it's next door. It's a state over.
Crate motor.
Yeah, there. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Stop being such a wuss.
Yeah. They're only like $200,000 for the crate motor.
Just what every open bow boat needs. On that note, guys, unless is something else broken, do you have another broken thing?
I'm sure, but those were the 2 main things.
Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and giving me moral support. Every bald person, send me some moral support on Instagram or the Discord. I'd love to hear your bald story.
And also, if you see any big block engines for sale, let me know for the boat.
Let them know. All right. It's fine. I think you'll be okay. I do. I think you'll be all right.
That optimism. I love it.
All right. That's it for now, guys. We will see everybody.
Wait. You have a story to tell Jake?
What?
You have a story to tell Jake?
A hot chimney sweep or something?
Oh.
Is this driver's
club?
So,
yeah, let me tell this story on the driver's club. That's no big deal. Everyone else, see you later.
Adios.
You freeloader. Okay. Adios. All right. So we need to have our chimney.
Now you know the rest of the story.